Guys, welcome to another lecture in the series of lectures on the works of Hughes. Going to continue with Tender Place today. Um, I think I was just looking at some of the previous lectures, and I feel like we've already covered Tender Place in detail. Um, there might be certain things like, say, the choice of words that we can delve upon later when we're doing like an overall study of the poems that we do cover in this course. Um, but for this one, I wanted to read out a reference text by William Shakespeare that you can use um, as as a piece of literary work, especially whenever you come across any questions in an exam that are about compare, analyze, cross-reference, and so on. I'm talking about Sonnet 18, um, which is obviously from the Fair Lord Sonnets. For people who may not know what the Fair Lord Sonnets are, the Fair Lord Sonnets are sonnets 1 to sonnet 126. Because in these sonnets, Shakespeare desires a young and beautiful man. And of course, these sonnets tend to have homoerotic undertones. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of me, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often in his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometime declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest, nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. Um, why did I specifically quote Sonnet 18 when talking about the tender place? Um, when you look at the tender place, there is a lot of comparison in the tender place, right? Um, whether it is just the helmet that you're talking about, the steel helmet, that's being compared um, to a thunderbolt, um, even without electricity passing through it, right? Because it's crashing on the skull, all of that stuff. Um, Two other things like how lightning rods are webbed copper. Um, there's scampering of the bomb flesh. Um, the voice is exposed like an X-ray. Um, the electricity that's being used to give the therapy is lightening up across the Boston City grid. Um, all of that stuff. If you see the work of, if you see how comparison has been used as an art, and then you compare it to "Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?" It's very similar. For example, just this line, the opening line, "Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate." Uh, there is just comparison, and there is constant comparison that's been drawn to show affection in the tender place. Affection, concern, care, all of those things. Uh, Now, even in this poem, when you read, this is not a poem, this is a sonnet, of course, but a sonnet is also a poem. Even in this one, there are lots of places where the poet sort of tends to spiral, right? He's finding ground in one place and then it's like, nah, but then he starts trying to settle down in another place and then he's like, nah. Like, for example, sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often in his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometimes declines by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade. Um, so there's constant like building onto something and then going back on it, then building onto something, then going back on it, which is also sort of happening in the tender place. Um, I wanted to just do this lecture because I feel like um, if you're able to use this poem as like a means to compare the writing style of the two, although this is a 14-liner poem only, and while the tender place tends to be one of Hughes's. I won't say very long poems, but still a long poem, right? Like Skylarks and all of those poems tend to be really long and then have been divided into parts and so on. But the tender place also still isn't like one of his crisp poems. Because when we talk about crisp poems by Hughes, there are 8-line poems also. But still, in terms of the writing style and in terms of developing an idea, both are very similar. Go through both poems on your own. I'll drop this one in the link in description. Go through both of them, read them together, and make notes on how the idea is being built up in both. And then I think yeah, and also do the task, because the task will be related to something that can help you build on the the idea that this comparison used as a tool in both works. And then see you guys in another lecture. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up as well as subscribe to the channel, and press the bell icon to stay updated for whenever a new video drops in.